Flames are burning high tonight. I threw on some extra wood to get it going, and man, is it hot. Anyways, I want to cover a little story pertaining a project that I did, about maybe 20 years ago, maybe. So as a civil engineer, still am, I guess, but I did this for a municipality. And though I was kind of low on the totem pole as an engineer, they really didn't have any engineers that could do what I could do. Well, they had one, but he wasn't going to do it. And what they needed was an engineer that could design a whole new allotment. Not just a fresh allotment, but allotment of a blighted area that had Section 8 housing that needed to be demoed, new roadways that needed to be put in. We're talking new alignment, new everything, utilities, etc. And my boss at the time asked me, can you do this kind of work? I looked at him, yeah, I can do that kind of work. I can develop a new set of plans. Who am I working with? Well, they had a consultant that could do the private roads, and they were hired by a government agency called AMHA. And then there was another firm that would do the housing. But then you take into account there were public roads through there. And I was to design a whole new allotment with a roundabout and all kind of interesting features that Akron never really had seen before. Sorry, I said the city. Yes, Akron. And the developer was called Edgewood Village. And it was to be done in two phases. Phase 1 and a phase 2. So I told my boss, yeah, but I'm going to be the one that needs to control this. Don't want other people involved, don't want other upper engineers involved. This is my puppy. He's like, okay. Because he had nobody. Out of the dozens of engineers that were on staff at the time, I was technically the only one to step up to the plate. So, as the lowly engineer I was, and the fool I was, thinking I'll get a promotion out of this. Yeah, well, that didn't happen. Anyways, I had to work with AMHA rep, who was an excellent person to work with, by the way. The consultant for the private roads, who was excellent, by the way. And the architect, who was excellent, by the way. So I had three very good people that I was working with. Now, they had staff working for them, obviously, but I had nobody. I didn't have a draftsman. I didn't have a tech. I didn't have another engineer. So all the plan development for Edgewood Village as well as the estimating, as well as the coordinating, as well as getting the permits, as well as getting permits to the EPA, the NOI, the sanitary sewer PTI, the water EPA permit. All of that did myself. The drafting on the plans, I did myself. The bidding, that went out to our administrative services, which actually did that, but I put the book basically together with the estimate and the specs and what needed to be done for the project, while administrative services put the rest of the book together, like the prevailing wages and rules that needed to follow. I was also the one that got, worked with our planning department in getting a grant for that project through issue 2, getting us millions of dollars for that, as well as not only doing the phase 1, but then doing the phase 2 plans myself. Also doing the private utilities that went underground along the roadways, creating easements to put those utilities. And yeah, I designed the electric lines, the gas lines, and the water lines, and sanitary sewer lines, and storm sewer lines. And whatever went in there, I designed it. Now, I did give, like the electric company, their ability to make changes as needed, and they did. Same with the gas, and same with the phone. And they had their junction boxes where they needed, and I had already designed it for them. They made little changes here and there, and I followed through and made their crossovers as needed. But I did all that work myself without the help of another person in doing the public areas. And, did the phase 1 and then come along, did the phase 2. And phase 1 already had, I believe the roundabout was in. That was Akron's very first roundabout. And the roundabout was in. I did phase 2. And I had the design done, and AMHA came along and said, hey, are you going to do Raymond Street next to the allotment? And I said, no, that wasn't included in the original design plans. And AMHA goes, well, can you do it? And I go, man, I can't, the city don't have the money for that. AMHA came back and said, hey, how about we pay for the construction of phase 2? I go, what? We'll pay for the construction of phase 2 if you design Raymond Street, the improvement on Raymond Street. So let me do the numbers. Tom from AMHA, I won't say his last name. So I did the numbers. I was like, woo, this is going to save the city like $1.5 million to $2 million. And I told my boss, hey, they want us to do Raymond Street. I'll design it up. It's just a restoration project. I don't have to change an alignment. I don't have to change out the sewers that much. Just a storm. Change where the inlets are at. Do a few things. Modify some stuff. Fix some things up. Build a few retaining walls. We're off to the races. My boss said, yeah, do it. So I drafted an agreement between the city and AMHA. Now, this should have been planning doing this, but I did it. Drafted an agreement, and I said, look, AMHA, we'll do this, but you're going to have to take care of the center infrastructure and a couple other things that you want done in order for us to do this. And they agreed. So I designed Raymond Street in, I would say, record-breaking time. Put the plans in with phase 2. got it constructed. AMHA paid for the phase 2 construction. The city saved $1.5 to $2 million. But here's the part that'll tickle you. Not in the way that it tickled me. You had a ribbon cutting ceremony. And the city engineer was there. The mayor was there. Guess who was not invited? Wow, I'll give you one guess. That would be me. I was not invited to the ribbon cutting ceremony. Nor did I get any credit for it. Nor did I get any thank you for it. Nor did I get anything that pertained to, hey, good job, attaboy, promotion. Nope. I just got the next few projects. Howard Ridge High Streets, Monadel, Blake Place, 70 plus projects put out on the street. My time of the city. And the promotions were few. The point being, it's not what you know, your abilities, how hard you work, what you can do, has to do with who you know. Has to do with whether you have a connection in life. To put you up right up to the top. So there were a lot of people promoted over me that couldn't even come close to touching my record of output. As a matter of fact, I could probably combine 3 of the engineers that were promoted well above me, combine their projects. Probably wouldn't even come to half of what I know it wouldn't even come to half. It wouldn't probably even come to a quarter of my output. But the point is, you could look up Edgewood Village, you could Google it, and you could see it. It's showing its age a little bit. AMHA is still maintaining it, thanks to my agreement that I had drafted up and AMHA signed. They're still maintaining it. It looks beautiful. Just like anything that's 20 years old, it's kind of showing its age, but still, all the asphalt paved streets are mine. Those are the public streets. All the concrete streets are the private. So I'm trying to think of the name of the streets. It's between the Akron Zoo and Raymond Street. And, oh man, getting old sucks. Can't remember the other 2 streets. Anyways, here's a cherry on top. Sub-story, and I know my fire is burning out, and I'll get her burned again here real quick. Thanks to my neighbor. Give me plenty of wood to burn. But cherry on top is they put up a website. And the website for Edgewood Village, if you click on, there's a picture that has 5 people. And those 5 people relatively didn't have much to do with the project as far as design goes, as far as other things go. One was a poet, Rita Dove, I think is the name. They named a street after her in the allotment. There was another street named after somebody else. And then there was the council person. I won't say the full name, but Summer. I'll just say that part. Complete joke. And then there were 2 AMHA people. And the one I believe was the president of the AMHA, and the other was some sort of board member. Just give the initials JF. This is the cherry on top. So he's got a picture on the website pertaining the development of Edgewood Village. He's one of the 5. This JF guy, he's married to my ex-wife. And he has nothing to do with the project except for taking a picture in front of the development that he had almost nothing to do with. That is hilarious. You would think they'd have a picture of Tom from AMHA. And Tom was a great dude. And Larry, that was the architect. And I'm trying to think of the guy that did the private roads. He went on to better things with NASA. Oh man, I could see his face. I can't remember his name. Great guy. You'd think he'd be in the picture. And of course me, who was the glue to get it all together and get it out there on the street and get it done and save the city $2 million, $1.5 to $2 million in the process, as well as get his government grants. Issue 2 monies. Now, that's some funny stuff. And you're talking not even 20 years ago, I guess, that I did this stuff, but it was a story that I just wanted to post and see that sometimes, no matter what you do, you could just be ignored anyways. You could try as hard as you want, and they're just gonna treat you like you are the littlest bee that ever existed. And why? Because they can't. You're nothing. You're nobody unless you're connected. And that's a fact in life. So anyways, hope you enjoyed that little story. I just figured I'd get it posted out there. Like I said, if you want to Google Earth it, if you listen to this video, Edgewood Village in Akron. I was the engineer, the main engineer. I was the glue. Not going to say my name, but I just wanted to get it online so that it's not forgotten as to who did all the work. My name are on the plans. That you'll never change because I'm registered in state. So anyways, have a good day, and hope you enjoyed the video, and if not, well, too bad.